Okay, we're going to do a clean out of this easy everclean system here. Unscrew these 4 screws, y'all know that. And believe it or not, it's not as easy as it looks like on the video. Believe it or not, this one, it never, ever, ever comes off that easy. And I might have missed it because I wasn't watching the camera. But see the stuff that's in there? Take your gloved hand, because it's no fun getting this crap under your fingernails. You just pull it out. And this one's particularly heavy. And I take a milk jug. I cut the top off just like this. You do that beforehand and have them all rinsed out, because if you don't rinse them out and let them dry, they stink while they're storing. So I'm going to show you just how to do this. It's not exciting, but at least it'll show you how to do it. All right. See, the video is going. So, you want a wooden spoon or a plastic spoon. Don't take your wife's out of the kitchen. She'll cut your nuts out. Go to the store, get some decent ones. Let her decide which one she likes better, the one in her drawer or the ones you just bought. That way you win. There's going to be a certain amount in there after you take it out. I like to just pour that back in. The oil that you find there is almost perfectly clean. It's only about a tablespoon. Still, who wants to lose a tablespoon of oil if they don't have to? Scoop it out, just like it was Crisco. You see that? Comes in multiple layers sometimes. Kind of like Nutella. I've eaten Nutella. This probably doesn't taste much different. The reason I use the milk jugs is because they'll hold all that oil in and all the glop and slime, and it won't leak all over. And on trash day, you can just set them right in the trash can and they'll go away. Or you can put them in a little trash bag. But they're secure until trash day, because there's absolutely no use for this stuff at all. I mean, at this point, you can let it sit in the sun and precipitate oil out, and after a few weeks, you're going to get a teaspoon maybe. So it's really not worth it. And the harder the stuff is, the harder it is to get out. But it's never difficult. And the more that's in here, the easier it is to put it in too, because then you can start whacking it against the edge. And it's going to start buggering up the edge, but who cares? It's going in the garbage. And the idea is to get as much of it out as possible. I know this isn't exciting, but it's just part of having one of these, unless you want to, unless you want to have a huge supply of these cans, which aren't cheap. When those people at HP designed these, they purposely did it in such a way that you can't just easily go out and get empty cans. There, empty, good enough. Now, if you do it good enough, you don't have to worry about the centrifuge being off-centered. If you don't do it good enough, and you got a bunch of glop on one side and it's clean on the other, it's going to shake. If that happens, let it shake for a minute until the oil comes out the inside port, after you've turned it on, of course, and then turn it off. Once it slows down, just stick the wooden spoon in through that little hole and spin it manually. Don't try to do it with the motor. You will get a bath. I didn't learn that by experience. I just see how it works and it's obvious. Just keep spinning it as you go down. And then you can also do like this as you're turning it slowly. And with the full of oil, it's going to knock all that stuff loose. And when it comes out, there's going to be a bunch of it that's really oily stuck to the spoon. Don't even bother trying to save that oil. It's not worth it. And then you just start her up. Now, I'm going to put it back in on camera, but I'm not going to get my phone covered in this rock snot. So we're going to grab the camera, and I can't turn this around while it's videoing for some reason. I don't know why. Just simple and empty. Little holes on the bottom, let any spilling go out. Just drop it in, push it down. Don't got to worry about cleaning the ring off. Drop that on, and then give it that little turn so that they're in the right spot, and then you just tighten them down. You don't have to put the Gorilla Move on them. Matter of fact, if you put the Gorilla Move on them, I suspect you'll strip them out. And so I'm going to have to say that's it. Here's a little additional little thing. Sometimes the pump seems to want to plug up, and the recommended procedure is to take the pump apart and clean the gunk out. I found a shortcut. Anybody who's CPR certified in the last 10 years has seen those little things you put over the victim's face that they're called barriers. Well, similar to that, you can do that with this thing. This is the inside. This is where the oil comes out when it comes through the pump out of the saw. You can put a rag over like that, blow through the rag. Most of the time, unless you got something really bad in there, it will blow whatever is in the pump back out into the saw. I've done it a dozen times. Saved me a whole lot of time pulling everything apart. And now, goes back together. Give it a little tap. Throw that off to the side. We're going to open up the saw, and we'll see how long it takes. Doesn't take long. In about 5 seconds, I figure it's going to start coming out. Okay, maybe a little more than 5 seconds. I can hear weird sounds, so there it goes. And that's all there is to it.